Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first video that we're going to do about a project multimedia educational that we have in mind. We will explain a bit who we are, the ins and outs of what we're planning to do. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Victor. I am the UK and Irish director at Edser. I will give you a bit of insight of my experience. Okay, we have Abid on your left, which is the clinical director at biomechanics in Coventry, and we have our international presence on the other side of the Atlantic, our friend Jamison Goldberg. Say hello, Jamison, to the camera. Okay.
Hello.
Abid is very experienced in doing these videos. This is our first time. Okay, so we're trying. We're going to try to sound as natural and as assertive as we can be. My experience, okay, at Edser is I started 5-6 years ago. I was introduced to Sergio, which is the owner of the factory, by my father. I always wanted to have my own company and have healthcare marketing experience, so I said yes. Very, very tough beginnings, very humble, from an apartment in Hammersmith. The company grew quite well and well steady. I don't have a clinical background, so I am lucky enough to have people like Jamison and Abid that can help me cover my lack of biomechanical clinical gaps. But I guess I got good at it on the basics for the as time got by. When I started visiting podiatrists all over London, all over other places, I was able to see that they really appreciate the quality of what we did. I was able to get big clinics on board without knowing very much. So I guess the product was very, very good because I was definitely not. Maybe I am now, but I had to grow on my. So I guess that speaks very highly about the quality of the service that we offer. That maybe you don't even have to speak the mother tongue or have a background to persuade clinicians. That Edser is the right place to be when it comes about your custom-made devices. And now we have a happily well-established and solid company that allows me to launch in exciting projects like the one we have in mind. So next to you, Abid, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. My name's Abid Ali. I am director of the biomechanics clinic here in Coventry, Warwickshire. I've been an NHS musculoskeletal orthopedic specialist podiatrist for nearly 20 years. So worked across 2-3 hospital sites, been in private practice for about 15 years. I'm also now registered with the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons at Glasgow, and I have a consultant podiatrist qualification from the IOCP. I'm also the director at the Institute, vice chair at the moment of the Institute. So here, luckily, I've been invited along by Victor from the company Edser, with whom I've worked now for 4 or 5 years, perhaps altogether. I've known Victor a long time. I know Victor, you said you've been with Edser 5 or 6 years. I think it might even be longer than that.
You know me since pretty much I arrived and landed to the UK.
Yeah, see, he's a local now. He's pretending he's still Spanish, but he's now English, officially English. Yeah. So luckily, I've been invited along to talk with and work with Edser on biomechanics, and of course, that's exactly what we love and what we do. So that's why we set up this business here to solely deal with this one subject. But of course, it's a very, very big subject, really very complex, lots of ins and outs and lots of different ways of looking at it. So with Edser, they are our main supplier, our go-to supplier of orthotics, prosthetics, AFOs, flopthotics, various kind of sandals and prescriptive footwear, and all sorts of wonderful things that help us to fulfill our role to the public, because of course we're here to help people with biomechanical problems. And a lot of the time they require prescription orthosis and all the other things that we've discussed. And Edser, for us, we've been partnered with many labs over the past, but I have to say Edser is really truly up there, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be invited along to work alongside them, because they have very much the same core values that we do. Their product quality is second to none, really, in my mind, and they're just a really great company to work with. They're very forward-thinking, and they have a great team there at the helm. We're also very fortunate that Edser, unlike other companies, is truly international. You know, they have international bases across the world. Luckily, we're joined here by our good friend Jameson, live to you from sunny Miami. And we are both here together to talk to you about all things biomechanics. So these programs are essentially for educational purposes for anybody out there who is interested in orthotics or biomechanics and anything associated with that. We're going to be here coming to you live every week now for as long as the internet can bear us. Coming to you about different programs. We will talk about a whole host of different things. I'll let Victor take over in a second. But I'm really excited to help along, and this will all lead on to a more formal education program, which we're working on in the background. So our true belief here is to spread knowledge, spread the word, spread the knowledge, and spread the benefit, really, that you know, a relationship between biomechanics and a really good orthotics lab can bring and benefit not only clinicians and alike, you know, from not just podiatrists, but physios, chiropractors, osteopaths, sports therapists, you know, anybody and everybody who's involved or has an interest in this area, and that's who we're keen to talk to. So please feel free to join in on our programs. They will be coming to you live every week in the near future, and also, as I say, we'll be having a more formal educational program to go alongside that. But details for that will be announced in the near future. But for now, here is the beginning of something that we hope will be a growing relationship between us all, and something of interest to you guys out there if you're the public and you're just interested how such devices and gadgets can help you in your day-to-day life, or if you're a clinician who's thinking about or not quite sure about dipping their toe into the whole weird and wonderful world of orthotics, then maybe these programs are for you. So sorry, I'm waffling now a bit, Josh. I'll hand
No.
over to you.
It's actually, you're actually fluent in what you want to say, so it's actually very good.
Thank you very much. You should perhaps introduce our good friend Jameson. He's
Jameson,
most exciting person on the panel this evening, I think.
do the honors, please.
I think I'm only the most exciting because I'm in the most exciting city. But yeah, my name is Jameson Goldberg. I was trained in exercise sciences at the University of Michigan before getting my formal clinical training as a doctor of physical therapy at the University of Miami. After which I went into traditional clinical practice as a physical therapist, some in the acute care world, but mostly in sports medicine, in late stage rehab with amateur, collegiate, and professional athletes, during which time I was approached by Sergio from Edser about doing some projects with him regarding gait analysis, motion analysis, pressure plate analysis, and biomechanics overall, which led me to start getting towards the Edser company and learning a little bit about them, at which point in 2016, I officially began working with Sergio and EdserLabs. And as Victor and Abid both touched on, I had the pleasure of coming in at a time where things were becoming more international and we were in a major growth phase of the company. So as well as being the director and the operations manager in the US market, I also had the opportunity to be a consultant on an international basis. And we also started at a similar time entering into 3D printing projects. So with the development of new products, I was able to give my input in product development and advice on what avenues to go and what products would be best for the markets in terms of my training in biomechanics and therapy and rehabilitation of patients. So since then, started working a bit more with Victor, helping him out, like he said, when his clinical background needed a little bit of extra advice.
A lot of effort help.
And like he said, after some humble beginnings for all of us over the past few years, we've been able to expand ourselves in the market, both with larger client bases and an increased product portfolio, which has been really exciting. And And now we've reached this stage where we're ready to share some of our experiences and give a little bit more education and outreach to our clients and other clinicians beyond.
Jamison is the definition of 24-hour support. New Zealand, Middle East, US, Europe, nonstop. You know, like you manage also the distributors in New Zealand, Israel, support with the customers in the Middle East. So he's pretty much no sleep, 24-hour guy.
I like to tell my my friends and associates that I have a nice life and job because if I need to, I can schedule some time during the day, but not a nice life because somebody's calling me at all hours of the day. So,
we won't call you. We won't wake you up. Don't worry. Okay? We respect that. Okay. Yeah. So, okay.
Can I just add sorry, guys. Just before you move on there, just how impressive it is as well, track record wise, for Edzer to even be able to break into the US market, because I'm sure. I mean, I'm not a resident. I haven't been. I don't know that much about the US, but I know that there's a lot of orthotic companies out there, a lot of local guys around. With some pretty impressive track record. So to be able to, for Edzer to be able to come into that market in itself says a whole lot, I think.
Yeah, I think going back to what Victor said about him not having as much clinical knowledge in the beginning and the product kind of selling itself or speaking for itself, and him having success in bringing it into the UK market. When I took over as operations manager for Edzer in the US, we were already established. It's not like I was starting anew, but I noticed very quickly when speaking with our current clients, which trained me for speaking with prospective and future clients, that there were a couple of things that stood out about Edzer. At that time, the main one was quality, in terms of the fact that my clients told me that we had a product that was finished beautifully, and you could tell that it was reproducible, it had consistent quality, and that we were using the foremost equipment in order to create our orthotic shells and do our design work and finishings. But at the same time, it had that feel that it was truly finished by hand and not by a machine. So there was that combination that really gave us a craftsmanship that people hadn't seen with a lot of other orthotic labs. And the second thing was the variety of materials that we use. So we're at that time using EVA in 7 or 8 or 9 different densities, resins, which we don't use in the States, but are used in Europe and other markets. We're using silver composite, graphite, carbon fiber blue, European carbon fiber composite, polypropylene 5 or 6 thicknesses. And that was before we even started with the 3D printing, as well as our selection of modifications, accommodations, and our huge array of top covers, which presents its headaches for us at times as a company, and creates a lot of options for our clients that requires a lot of training at times, which is part of why we're doing this, I believe. But at the same time, it creates a unique experience where our clients don't have to go for different labs and different vendors for different things. They can develop a relationship with us with core values that someone like yourself, Abid, has seen and come to recognize, and stick with us for the majority of the products that they need and devices for their patients.
Yeah, I have to say the way Victor sold it to me was exactly what it says on the tin. Really, his sort of sales pitch at the time, I remember, was look. He said to me, look, Abid, this is truly customizable. Yeah, and at the time I didn't quite get it, because like, oh, come on, man, just, if we can customize this way, that lab customizes, but it wasn't until I had my foot in the door, and you got to try and see, you got to get your foot in the door to really understand and appreciate what that truly means and the dimensions. But it's opened up a whole new avenue to my practice, just being able to offer the wide range and to think a little bit outside the box. And anytime I've come to Victor with something a bit unusual or out of the blue, which is exactly what you get day in, day out in the world of wonderful world of biomechanics, I'm sure. But he's come through every time, and the lab's been able to just adapt, without fail. For so many weird and wonderful conditions that we see. So That's why, again, we're truly happy to see this partnership flourish, because the quality that Edser brings is exactly what we need to shout out about.
Well, let's speak about the background of Edser a little bit now. We do a really, really large volume of devices. Everything is fully customized. Edser started doing their own orthotics for themselves through a series of Spanish clinics, but they realized that the quality of the devices was very, very good, so that they expanded to expand their horizontal portfolio to the US. In the US, they started with Miami because I guess it's an easy landing for Spanish companies because they speak the local language, after Cubans, Puerto Ricans everywhere. So we went then to South Carolina, to Texas. We have also clients now in the West Coast. We have customers all over Europe. Me, I started the company mainly operating in the UK, but I have a lot of success in Ireland as well. And I guess it's a good thing, the fact that we have a European-based factory, because for me, I'm getting the best of both worlds. I can easily ship to the UK after Brexit, and then I can easily ship to Ireland within the European Union from factory. So it's been working quite well for me, everything. So you haven't really been affected by the world change of infrastructure in customs and duties.
And that's a really, really important point for the here in the UK. They may be wondering immediately, because as soon as we've gone on air here, you can see the European and the US link here, and the whole Brexit situation has caused such a mess. But just to clarify for the audience there, it's had zero effect on and medical devices and orthotics and prosthetics. I mean, I know my own experiences with the food market and some medicines market. Brexit has caused absolute chaos. Yeah, we've got things backed up with customs for like 6 or 8 weeks. It's things jamming up in the ports. Things are not coming through right now. But thus far, I think actually with my orthotics that I've been ordering from you guys, I think I've had them even quicker than ever before. So
possibly yes. Now we're delivering 6-7 working days. The only difference is that I have to pay £11 for custom duties, and I have to pay VAT in advance. So customers pay me on time, okay? Because this time I'm adapting the VAT, so no delays, okay? But aside of that, everything is working very, very beautifully.
Very impressive, yeah. Brexit is messy at certain times, but we can get our orthotics and prosthetics and AFOs and devices through ASAP. And 6 to 7 days is actually probably beats a lot of the UK-based labs as well. To be absolutely fair,
it is. For what I know, I cannot speak about every lab because we don't know. But for what I know, we are now one of the leading even with turnaround, because it's important we mentioned it, because sometimes there is a lot of misconception. Edser, they have a European factory. They're gonna take 3 weeks, a month to deliver. No, it's not. For us, it's unthinkable to deliver something so late. We just don't do that. Neither us or Jameson. In the other side of the Atlantic, we aim always to at maximum 10-11 working day turnaround, even with a freight delay on a third-party basis. Consider, so we really, really want to avoid this concept of great orthotics, but they're gonna be late. There's gonna be no. It's not like that. Like we are really, really efficient and validating and delivering quickly, always with the guaranteed turnaround that is promised.
So how about we just, while we're on this subject, just clarify the timelines for people. So from a clinician's point of view and from a customer's point of view, because you guys know in the world of orthotics, quite often you need to be able to turn those devices around pretty quick for that patient. They're either transitional, they're moving, they're passing through, or they're about to go on holiday, or they've got some important activities coming up, and everything's always lastminute.com. But Edser do seem to manage to deliver on time. So just talk us through the timeline with it then, Victor. So from the point of view that the customers or the patient has been with us, as an example, with us biomechanics, taken that prescription, I've passed it through to you the same day. What's the next step, and how long does it take before it goes into production? And then how long?
They validate the order, I have to validate the order. If some information is missing, the turnaround doesn't start.
So the first layer is, and just to clarify for the UK audience out there, first the order goes to you guys in the office here in the UK, and you clarify, check up all the orders to make sure that they're
within the day.
enough and the prescriptions are okay and everything looks good to you. So you're the kind of first tier of overview and security sort of blanket for people.
Yes.
Because I know myself on occasions where you've not been happy or you've not been quite sure, you've no hesitation in picking up the phone and letting me know that you're not going to put this one through until and I know that you guys are very, very strict about that, which is a great,
especially with Orthotics, more than yes, the first thing that we do is that because we do orthotics also to the shell, to the width, to the weight of the patient, it's very, very important for us to have the weight and the age. So the first thing that we do always when we see an order is, depending of the weight of the patient, advise you within the shell. And then we check the correction and the accommodations. We do it within the day. If we don't agree with something, we let you know. Then maybe if the answer doesn't come until the next day, we have to delay the warranty turnaround until the day later, once I got your approval that you agree with what I'm proposing. If everything is correct within the day, which is the usual for 90% of the orders, we put the order for Spain to do their second quality control on the prescription noted. Then it goes into CAD/CAM, and we have a very, very good app that allows clinicians to overlook all the stages of production of the devices. So they are, until a certain extent, more or less in control of everything that is happening. Once the devices are ready, they are sent to me. I receive them the next day, and then I ship them within the same day to the clinicians. If the devices arrive from Ireland or Northern Ireland, because it's still part of the European Customs Union, they are shipped directly to the patients in Ireland and Northern Ireland. So possibly, it's the Irish and Northern Irish people, they are getting the devices one day before, because they don't have to go through me, okay? So, but it's also good for me to be in control for the UK, because there is always a second quality control on my behalf, which helps, okay? So this is the standard level of production, okay? So it's actually very, very efficient. It's very well organized. We appreciate that, for example, Sergio, which is person who the brains behind everything at the end of the day in Edser, is extremely experienced with working with international markets. So we've been giving a system that works, so we just had to fine tune it to our own little tips for every market. But all the software and everything that he builds is not built like for Spain to podiatrists in Spain. Is built with an international focus, having intermediaries in the middle. So he's very clever at that. Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of thought goes into all that stuff, and it's constant development and constant updating, which is the other great thing about it. They're constantly evolving and developing, and moving forward and looking for the next goalpost, and just seeing how the apps and the software and all the hardware is developing is really exciting in itself. And the fact that anybody that comes along with Edser from the UK is privy to this international sort of pot of brains. I mean, how many times Victor's put me in touch with somebody on the other side of the world over a clinical question. So you're not just joining Edser and getting something back with no thought in it. There's a lot of Spanish love that goes into it. And the other thing, of course, is it's you're part of an international family, international framework. We're sharing ideas and thoughts. I mean, there's programs to come out there, Victor, where Jameson and I will be sort of hot talking subjects on orthotics and prescriptions. So there's going to be some really exciting stuff to come in the coming weeks with these programs for all those clinicians out there, and even patients alike who just want to know more about all this stuff and how they can get these the best quality they can with clinicians and with their devices.
We're planning to base the educational projects that we have is we're going to have live chats. Well, we're going to have all the clinicians that they want to get to be with us, participate in making questions with the relevant Abid and Jamison will share different clinical programs. And it's important that there is a structure in what we do, okay? But we'll have our live chats where you'll be able to interact. It's going to be all very interactive we want people to have fun. We want this to be entertaining, and also as well as that they can learn things from the manufacturing point of view and from the clinician point of view with Avid, where I will act as a moderator, and eventually the number of questions and clinicians that will attend this will grow. So we will launch a subject. We're planning also to have short videos of experienced clinicians that work with us all over the world. This can be UK, Israel, New Zealand, Spain, if they speak a decent English, okay, but I cannot guarantee that, okay, but that's our goal, okay, as well, to have people from Spain as well, where they will have short videos explaining how they resolve complicated patient queries. This will be, we will give them a guideline, but they're highly qualified, well-known podiatrists that they work with us, and also we will have, for new beginners that want a more easy, seamless, starting to biomechanics using Etzer, we will have that as well for new prescribers. I am planning, and this is, I'm going to say this alive, so this way Avid doesn't hold back on the trip, is we have EdserLabs and Orthotic video training that I'm planning to do with Avid this summer. I know there's a lot of you waiting for these videos because it is not the same to read a technical guide than a proper video from factory using the material. So I promise you, I am going to make this summer. And to everyone who ordered Orthotics and EdserLabs, it's going to be a game changer, and it's going to make your life much, much easier at the time of using sizers, different rubbers. I have everything here, and I'm going to make great videos about this with Avid, okay, from Barcelona. So we will have product demonstrations. We will have educational content sharing different clinicians live with all questions, introduction from different clinicians. We have everything very well prepared, and you'll be able to access it in different social media. And we're quite excited about it because I believe it's going to bring a lot of positive clinical outcome, both for patients, but also into learning. Jameson and Avid, you also want to share some ideas that we have about this?
I think for me, on top of the Floptotic and eFlop sizing that you are well aware, more of our clients need more training in.
Yes.
From our experience, which I have the same, but we'll let you be the expert in training for that. I'm sure at some point down the road, you'll be looking to me for a bit more training, not in necessarily sizing and capturing, although I'm sure we'll get there as well, but in the different AFOs that we're starting to offer in the past couple of years. And you know, how we got there, a little bit of the story, as well as which AFOs are indicated for which patient presentations, and how more of the biomechanics experts and different clinicians can start implementing those into their practice now that they have 3D scanning capabilities, and don't need to cast the patients or need special equipment to be able to manufacture them themselves. They can keep that in-house.
Avid has not only the right scan, but also have a platform that is very, very good to scan AFOs, and is definitely for what we know, Avid, like your experience scanning with that platform has been much better since you got it, you know?
Oh, guys, and I'm not just saying this, it's been absolutely mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing, the quality and the accuracy and the consistency of the devices coming back. You know, going back to the days of, and I'm sure Jameson and I'm sure you both, you know, even still today, you still see it, but the old traditional casting method, you know, every time a patient comes in and I've got the Edser app in my hand, you know, I'll remind myself I'm a patient how we used to do this. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I've tried many systems over the years, as you know, Victor. I've had all sorts of scanners and gadgets and 2D and 3D and, you know, very scanners, and I could name a whole bunch of things. Even some gadgets I got from Italy. You remember those? It's those pins, you know, that row of pins, and you kind of push your hand into it and it takes the impression. You know, I had scanners that do that sort of thing as well. So, you know, tried and tested a lot of technology over the years, and I wasn't really that short, and a camera stuck on an iPad. Come on, it's not going to be that accurate, surely. But it's so impressive how great the accuracy of it is, how quick it is, how simple, how easy. It makes it look like kids play, really. Using this new modern technology compared with the old way of having to hold it into subtalar neutral and take a cast and mold it and make a mess on the floor and on your trousers and your shoes and the patient. Them days are long gone, and it's such a pleasure to work with them. 2021, and Edser really has stepped up to the plate with the 3D stuff, and they are superseding most companies based in the UK, really. And they've been doing this already for years. They've got so much experience. They've been way ahead of the curve with it all, and everybody else is playing catch up, really. But the thing is that this just isn't general knowledge out there, and that's why again, we want to share this share this information in these videos, because the world needs to know as much as possible about the great work that you guys at Edser are doing.
You're making us red.
I thought you were. Yeah. No. Honestly, I'm not just blowing your trumpets, guys. It's just great to get the clinical outcomes and to get the quality and the precision. And just the general service and everything that has been top notch. And people should know, Victor. I'm not an easy sell. I don't come across easy. It was years of negotiating. It was years of Victor. Talking to. Just really wasn't.
I went to Coventry at the beginning so many times and came back empty-handed. He
tried, and it just wasn't going anywhere. But then you really have to. Not until you just see the final article, you just have to do one and see for yourself, And even the first time around, you're like, "Wow, really? Is it that great?" But and the repeatability is just there, So it is awesome. And my outcome measures have gone, sky high. Everybody's happy. We don't have much comeback. We don't have people coming back with things falling to bits. Things are very robust. They last. They're durable. They look like you've spent your money well, because you look and feel like you've got a really decent something out of it. So it's just tick boxes all the way. I am one of the most particular guys out there. Is those podiatrists and friends out there that know me. I don't jump into bed with anyone. So although it does sound as though I'm blowing the Edser trumpet, it just is there. I implore anybody to just go and try it for yourselves. If you don't believe it, call up Edser. He'll send you even a cast box for your first one, I'm sure. But just you got to try it out. Honestly, guys, you got to really think about having a look at what Edser can offer. So that's why I'm here, to help spread the word. Really, if it's helped me and my customers and patients so much, I just feel that it should be open to as many people as possible. So that's exactly what we're here for. Sorry, I'm waffling again. Over to you guys.
No. You're talking about how wonderful we are, so it's great.
Yeah, no, like
plug in the, I'll have the brown envelope later at the end of the program.
Yeah, I bet this little ego we have all the other guys inside. They said the Spaniards said that the ego is that little Argentinian all of us have inside, and the Argentinian says, "Why little?"
This is going to be so much fun. People don't realize, what dynamics we've got here, and how much fun we're going to have with all these shows. It's going to be great to watch. We were saying earlier how this whole COVID thing is really what's brought this all about, isn't it? We've been twiddling thumbs. We've been itching to get going and doing projects. I mean, we were planning on being face to face in a studio and really, going through the bare knuckle and bolts of everything, and meeting up and going over to Spain and going over to Miami and God knows wherever else. So that'll all have to pause for the moment. We just felt that there was no reason whatsoever in the world that we couldn't just get started and sharing stuff. People are bored of the traditional programs on the TV and Netflix and all that. It's boring. You don't want to watch that. You want to watch Abid, Victor, and Jameson talking about what they do best, the world of orthotics and biomechanics. What more would you want out of life? So that's
also, an image is better than 1,000 words. You know what they say. So I saw the program that you are using, Abid. Like the one you showed to me, like to explain from a didactic point of view, teaching clinical is. If you can combine, like educational videos with proper software, proper images, sometimes that's just much better than just even someone in person, like me, like from showing an orthotic, because you can combine different. So it's actually, I think that's where the world is advancing. This COVID thing taught us that you can do things other way from with the advance of technology and everything. Like is possible to operate in a different way.
Absolutely, and being from the background of the world of education, we know that everybody learns at different rates from different media and from different outcomes. So it's not just about going to a classroom and sitting there being lectured to and taking an examination at the end of it. Learning should be fun and interactive, and there's many ways to get information and knowledge and continue your continual professional development in whatever way you see fit. Even picking up a message on your WhatsApp is CPD these days. And that's what we'll watching these programs. You can take this down as CPD, and as Victor says, there's many ways of showing information and sharing knowledge. We've got some very exciting apps we'll be using. We'll be using 3D anatomy. We'll be using EdserLabs 3D portals for all their software. We'll be looking at all the ins and outs and structured out. So we'll make all these programs really fun and interactive, and just having this three-way conversation, I think in itself is going to be pretty unique and cool. So I can't see there's many other people out there who's going to be doing what we're planning on doing. So we'll be the first guys to it, and hopefully we'll become pretty infamous for what we're about to do. God help Joe Public out there and all the rest of it. But yeah, they don't know what's coming. It'll be good though. We'll have so much fun, I'm sure. Really looking forward to it. So I think we got the gist of. Sorry, James.
Yeah.
No problem. I was going to go in the same direction as you, Abid. I think for today we've introduced ourselves, and we're ready to have some fun, as we're now talking about, and we'll be looking forward to next week, where I think the first topic we're gonna touch on is basic prescribing.
We have 10 a list of 10 basic prescriptions. 10 patient. They're not so basic, but let's say we say we are the most common. Patient may have queries, and how we resolve them, showing the clinical software using habits, and then our Etser app, which is good.
Yeah, so we'll screenshot. We all sat together one evening and came up with this list of 10 kind of common conditions that we see a lot of. Not that they're the only things by a long shot, but there's some key conditions that can affect the foot and ankle. And that's where we thought we would start this all off with biomechanics and orthotics for foot and ankle conditions. We can talk about knee problems and hip and back, and we will come on to that in the fullness of time. But we thought we'd just kick off and get the ball rolling with some straightforward things that people would see on a day-to-day business and what Joe Public suffers with out there. So I think the first one was Morton's neuroma, maybe.
I thought we don't have to check the list.
we'll make that announcement. Sure.
Fasciitis, I think, were the first ones, but
sure.
Things that Victor and I get phone calls or little notes.
Yes, basically, pretty much.
Telling us this is what the patient has. What would you do here? So we'll
be really interested to share topics. That's a huge condition that just affects probably 80-90% of the population at some point. Most commonly over 50. So we'll talk a little bit about the anatomy, the background, why it occurs. We'll give you some general overview and information about it, and then we'll look at ways of treating it with orthotic therapy from Jameson's point of view, from my point of view, with my experience, and from Victor's point of view, from his general overview. And this will be the theme across about 10 programs, I think, right? So that we're going to do the same stuff.
The whole idea is that we're going to do the live ones, and there's going to be 10 live ones at least, but I think there's going to be more than that. I think one thing is that we're planning to do as well is obviously Abid is very, very well experienced at using Etser. So it's good that you see from a clinician point of view uses of our system, how he does it, because so everything when it comes about, I have to move a little bit now. Okay, it has to be scanning, using the app, Floptotic sizing, flop sizing that he will do it with me, everything. But there's product demonstration is also important, okay? And then short videos from different clinical basic prescription, I say we are aiming at more than 10 videos easily, and more than will come, for 2021.
Yeah. Some of them will be just us guys talking, and some of them will be interactive, and joint public gets involved, and that's when it really gets exciting. It's really interesting when other people jump in and ask questions, and hopefully Victor will be here to field those questions from anybody out there, whether it's a clinician or a consumer, and also Jameson and myself there to deal with any sort of technical aspects with the orthotic prescription around that. So that's going to be loads and loads of fun. Can't wait. We're going to learn so much from each other, and hopefully just for anybody that will be viewing the show, they're just going to pick up so many golden nuggets, I'm sure, from each program. It's going to be a wealth of information and knowledge.
Hopefully we'll get into a heated argument or two also.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Next to the camera.
Yeah, there's going to be a UK, EU, US kind of and the three never say the same thing on the same.
As long as you don't show up with a Real Madrid shirt to the videos, you'll be grand with me. Yeah. There's otherwise I'll just cut connection.
Yeah, we're all smiling right now. It could be by the end of the 10 programs we're all just kind of putting the crosshairs on each other because but it's going to be great. Okay. Anything else you want to discuss, Victor? Do you think that's
no? We will work on we will do some good previous work for the next video for the 10 10 prescriptions. We will prepare the samples, everything properly, and we'll see you on our next show.
Yeah, so we'll be coming to you live. The programs will be for future will be at 8 o'clock GMT, 8 p.m. in the evening. That's about the time when everybody's sat and had dinner and tea, and they're starting to flick through the Facebooks and whatnot. So hopefully you'll see our faces crop up there, and if you're interested in what we're going to say, you'll be clicking along and joining us. So we'll look forward to keeping you posted. Look out on our social media. Victor, what is the social media we've got? It's Edser UK, and
it's the Edser Facebook site for Edser UK and Ireland. We will possibly post it as well in Instagram. I will. Why not? Maybe create a mail shot. Like inviting everyone who wants to attend. From like customers who are who've been working with us already. We'll make sure everyone knows they're more than welcome to participate.
So we'll share all the social media details with you. If you'd like and follow as much as you can there, that's where you'll pick up the future upcoming programs. Every week they will be advertised before they go live, so you'll know exactly what's coming. So you'll be all nice and ready for us to join us when we go live. So I think that pretty much covers the plan there, guys. So thanks for joining in, and thanks for being with us this evening. I think we've done nearly 45 minutes of just basic introduction there. So I think that's a good start, guys. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm sure the rest of the world is too. So thank you for your time, and thanks for being willing to share and give up your time as well. It's really going to be a very valuable thing for everybody.
My pleasure, Abby.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot.
Good night. Buenas noches. Bye-bye.